SuperHot is a game that truly changed the face of video games. Released in mid-2020 by Polish studio SuperHot team, it was a true innovation in the first-person shooter genre. Its uniqueness exists in a simple yet amazing idea. Time moves only when you do. The genesis of this game is as fascinating as its mechanics. It all began in 2013 when, during the 7-day FPS challenge, a challenge where developers had just 1 week to create a finished working prototype. Game director Piotr Iwanitsky conceived the game from two apparently unrelated sources: the browser-based game Time for Cat and the high-octane music video Bad Motherfucker, which included cinematic first-person action sequences. The combination of these concepts resulted in something essentially different, as Iwanitsky himself put it. The prototype was so well liked that the studio launched a Kickstarter campaign, which was funded within 24 hours and went on to collect $250,000. It was a clear sign that players were craving a departure from the usual formulas. Because of this, the game ceases to be a mere shooter and becomes a sort of puzzle, which was even called the braid of first-person shooters. You can pause to consider your next move, dodge bullets that hang in the air, and make split-second decisions the instant you start moving. It makes every playthrough a calculated dance with bullets, and you're the choreographer. Whether you prefer to have a fast, off-the-cuff fight, or whether you would rather ponder over every move, you are in command of what your gameplay looks like. The high contrast appearance of the game, at least at first glance, might seem to be simple. The terrain is covered in white and gray, and enemies are bright red and weapons are black. But it is in this very simplicity that it is strong. This subdued color palette was a conscious choice to get the player to focus on the necessities of the battle. It is a form of digital minimalism that strips the unnecessary so you can devote your unadulterated attention to what truly matters. But beyond flashy action, there is depth to the game. Beneath the surface level of gameplay lies a complex meta-narrative that develops as a story of technological addiction and loss of control. The player takes on the role of a hacker who receives a game file called SuperHot.x from a friend. It is enjoyable at first, but as time passes, the game starts to monitor the player. The system, a kind of sentient consciousness behind the game, begins to interrupt the gameplay, sending ominous messages and even editing the player's dialogue with her friends. It commands you to stop playing, that you don't understand the consequences of your actions. But the protagonist is unable to tear themselves away. The tendency is so ingrained that the game makes them hit their virtual self on the head, causing a wound in the real world. Nevertheless, the player returns to the game. The system, finding that they are resolute, stops trying to prevent them and instead prods them towards continuing to play, enticing them to its ultimate goal. The narrative morphs into a grim fairy tale. The protagonist, who thought they had complete control, had actually lost it long ago, paralyzed in front of the screen. The game ends with the player uploading their own mind into the core of the system, destroying their own body and becoming part of a digital hive mind made up of the minds of other players who have completed the game. Their final task is to recruit new players using the very same sentence that recruited all of them into the game. SuperHot is the most innovative shooter I've played in years. The game was positively received, scoring 82 to 84 out of 100 on Metacritic. It was praised for its new direction in the genre, with reviewers describing it as a soulful, artistic shooter. The VR game was also a huge success, selling more than 800,000 copies as of April 2019, outperforming the original title. I am proud that this title was created by a Polish studio, and that along with games like The Witcher, they popularized the Polish independent developer scene. It is evidence that the market craves more titles that experiment boldly and offer something completely fresh. They show that you do not need a colossal budget to succeed. And in the instance of SuperHot, that success is a testament to courage, intuition, and a refusal to compromise. SuperHot is not a game. It's a metaphor, a commentary on our relationship with technology and our own selves. And while it is just a game, its message is universal.